Sometimes you just gotta burn stuff. I'm kind of digging this. I kind of feel like I have some more room to move around. Hey there, folks. It's a really, really, really hot day. And a chain of hot days. And not just hot, it's been in the 90s. But also very humid. It's what you expect for being in the South. Hot, right? Surprise, you're in the South. That's what happens in the summer. So we're making do. We're trying to do most of our work in the mornings and evenings. Right now it's midday as I'm filming this, and Henry and I are just dumping some bad old bread to the chickens and the turkeys. They're doing the same thing that we're doing, basically just hanging out in the shade. I don't blame them. How are the babies, bud? How are the babies? The babies probably need a little more water. What do you think? Babies. You have some rocks and sand for them? I'm pouring water for the chickens, for the baby chickens. They've already went through a whole jug today. Even though they're pretty much in the shade, the humidity makes them really thirsty. It's not quite time for them to leave their tractor just yet. Maybe in a week. I don't know. I let them out again. Henry and I let them out again, and still had several slip through the uncharged fence, just wandering around. And obviously I can't leave the chickens here, these baby chickens, if they're wandering off into the woods over here. They'd be quick and easy prey for whatever lurks out here. So they've got to stay in here for a little bit longer till they get fatter and bigger, right, Henry? Are you pouring that in the water? Oh, geez. Gotta have rubbies. You want more rubbies? Here.
Oh, one, but that.
You hear the airplane up there? It's pretty high up, isn't it? Nana Jana cleared out all the weeds and overgrowth in this lane right here so we could get to these raspberries, or rubbies, as Bub likes to call them, Henry likes to call them. Thank you, Nana Jana, for doing that. Oh, here's some perfect ones. In addition to all the raspberries, there's also a lot of mint growing. Holly's been making lemon balm and mint tea. There's lemon balm growing in the garden, along with this mint. She makes a really good tea.
Did you see that?
What,
It's
the golf
1,
balls?
2, 3.
Oh, yeah, that's par for the course.
No, it's
Par for the course, get it? You might be wondering why I didn't burn this area, what remains of that termite stump, as I like to call it, as well as this log. And the primary reason I didn't burn these two features is because I sprayed that termite poison last week on them, and I don't want that burning and going up into the air. So I'm gonna have to take care of that log and the remains of this stump separately, probably shovel them out and put them somewhere else. Otherwise, my scorched earth approach, I think, is going to work well. As you saw in the video yesterday, I just tried tilling it with just the tiller, but it was pretty slow going because there's just so many old vines and big stringy pieces of wood and live vines, live grass that just got caught up in the tines. Every 2 minutes I had to stop and clear out the tines, and it only got worse as we got deeper into this patch. So I was like, you know what? Let me burn it. Let me use the Inferno or whatever that thing is called and burn as much of this as I can. And it worked. It worked surprisingly well. Look at all that ash. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna spray it down and let it cool down and then look at it again tomorrow, see how much more work I have to do in terms of clearing out some of these vines and stuff and doing some more stump cutting, but hopefully it's a lot easier. I may need to give it another burn, but my hope is this stuff, this ash, these really brittle pieces of burnt wood and vines that I burned today will be super easy to till through, and I can continue tilling the rest of this area. So what am I going to do once I've tilled it? Well, obviously there's the termite stuff, the termite poison that's in here and in that log. I'm cognizant of that. I'm aware of that. But in addition to the termite poison, which obviously you don't want to put edibles in something like that. In addition to the termite poison in that area, there is just so much industrial junk and industrial waste under here, this area, that was just there prior to when we moved in. We'd like to get this whole area usable again one day. Eventually, I'm thinking like a strawberry patch or maybe more of our orchard. I'm not sure. Definitely not this year. So what I'm going to do, till it through, get it as tilled over as I possibly can, and then plant sunflowers. This is actually a tip that a viewer gave me. Sunflowers are one of the few flowers that will actually suck up toxins. According to what I read and the basic research that I did, there's a term, It's like photo extraction or something. I'm almost certainly got it wrong. But there's a process where you can actually put sunflowers down and they will help suck up toxins in an area. So what a lot of people will do in permaculture, when they have a patch of land like this that's, of questionable history, there's old industrial waste under here, is they'll plant it over with sunflowers for a year or two, let those sunflowers kind of help Mother Nature suck up all of those toxins. Once this sat under sunflowers for a year or two, then that serves as a kind of cover crop. I can prep whatever vegetable or berry or whatever I was going to do after that. I'm going to do more research on this. Obviously, I need to approach this with caution because of the fact that there's industrial waste here and termite poison. I don't think I'm ever going to grow anything in these areas where I sprayed with termite poison, but this whole chunk of land, I'm going to get some sunflowers down. I'm pleased with how this went. I'm very happy with the scorched earth approach using that flamethrower. It worked very well in ashing this out. Again, I may need to hit it again with more, but the next step is to take the tiller to it and see how it does with tilling this land out. So this side is still pretty wet from when I soaked it after the first flame. So I'm gonna wait on tilling that till tomorrow. And there's still a lot of junk I'd like to rake out of here and pick up. But look at this side. Look how much better that looks. It's not perfect, but I can do something with this. I can plant here. Might be wondering why I didn't use the tractor, or I haven't busted out the tractor for this section, although I may need to. But right now there's a level of precision involved that I think only the yard tiller can handle. You'll note there's a lot of rocks layered into this ground. Stuff like this and this. These aren't added here. Well, that one is. Most of these are in the ground. Let's see if I can find another example for you. Right here. It's something that I'm aware of where those rock shelves are, but with a big broad tool like the tractor, I wouldn't be able to circumnavigate those rocks. So my preference is to use the hand tiller, the little yard tiller that I've been using. And I'm halfway done. So I'm gonna let this cool off. Maybe get the second half tomorrow. Dig out this stuff, figure out what to do with the log, and I can start planting sunflowers. I'm really, really, really happy with this combo. I think if you are dealing with a similar issue, if you've got sketchy ground or ground where there's questionable history, maybe there's been something buried there and you don't know, maybe take this approach. When I had pigs, Frankenbeans, they would have knocked all this out in a day. No joke. They would have knocked this whole spot out in a day. If you've had pigs, you know what I'm talking about. This would have just been a moonscape very quickly. However, even if I did still have Frankenbeans, I wouldn't put them here just because of, I don't know what's under the ground here still, even though I tried to clear as much of that waste away as possible. They could get into something I didn't want them to get into. Plus the termite spray, which, looking back, was it a mistake to spray for termites? Absolutely it was. But I learned my lesson and I know how to cover it up. I think once I shovel away this old stump where I sprayed and this log, I'm going to throw down a bunch of diatomaceous earth. I learned my lesson. Sometimes termites happen in the country and that's okay. Either way, this is coming along. I'm very happy with the progress here. Next step, finish this, tilling, and if I'm ready, plant some sunflowers. Just get a big, giant bag of sunflower seeds and plant them. Thanks for hanging out with me, yo folks. It's not the sexiest project, clearing land like this. And it may be hard to kind of appreciate the magnitude of what we did here. But I will say, this is one of those projects where I feel really proud about. This land was unusable. It was junk. It was just a waste of space. And I'm starting to see it come into fruition here. I would imagine within a week, we'll have sunflower seeds planted here. I still got to get that half of the plot cleared out, but that won't be too much of an issue. I was able to do this half earlier today, and I'm really, really proud of it. Sometimes you just got to burn stuff. Sometimes you need to burn things in order to move forward, and I feel like that's what we needed to do here, and it feels really good to do. I'm really happy with where things are at right now on the homestead. We've got the garden in a decent spot. There's going to be some more work that we need to do. We've got some really beautiful meat chickens coming along. Probably going to start thinking about more turkeys here soon, and great laying chickens. Not quite in the season for larger livestock at the moment, but we will be soon, and I'm in no rush. One of the things that's kind of nice about losing viewership is I feel a lot more freedom to just go at my own pace and do my own thing. I don't feel as much pressure to try and create fireworks every time and do crazy things and do stuff for the sake of YouTube and not for the sake of my homestead, which requires careful curation and taking my time sometimes and going fast at other times. But yeah, to that end, like not having as many viewers and watching the decline of my YouTube channel has been kind of freeing in a way. It feels more open. I feel more free to do stuff. I don't know. It's hard to articulate exactly what that feeling is, but it's a good one. You would think I'd be bummed about losing viewership and having dwindling views, but I'm kind of digging this. I kind of feel like I have some more room to move around. And I appreciate those of you that are watching. I feel like it's more intimate. I feel like I can be more open and honest with you guys. That's one of the new young roosters. So, oh, by the way, look at this dirt. Sorry, I'm saying goodbye, but check this out. This is like black. I may have to use this stuff. This is just from years of being in the chicken run, and boy, oh boy, it's beautiful underneath the straw that I put down for them. I've rambled on long enough, and you guys have hung on. You guys have hung with me long enough. I just wanted to say I appreciate you folks that are still watching. I know that the channel's getting smaller, and it's actually a pretty good thing. And so I thank you for watching and hanging out with us. And until we do see you again next time, remember, as always, slowly.